Hello everyone, welcome to Officer Sata 24/7. My name is Soumya Prakash and as you all know that we have started this series of which is known as Champions, and we are discussing different units of all the subjects of your JIB exam. So today we are taking up unit 14, which is responsibility of collecting bank. In the previous unit we had done the responsibility of paying bank. So before I start the session, please share the link of this video with all your friends, colleagues on WhatsApp, Facebook or Telegram group so that they also come to know that we are discussing and we are doing this series for all of you so that you also get to know that what you have to study for your JIB exams. I hope you all have started your preparation. If not, then this is the right time that you should start your preparation because you will be covering around 165 units in all the four subjects, and you also will be having your annual closing in March, and during those times usually bankers don't get much time to study, so it's better that you start early. You will also get time for revision and practice if you start early. So let's start today's topic, which is on responsibility of collecting bank. Now, in the previous unit also we had discussed what is a collecting bank, what is a paying bank. So in case, let's see, what does this mean? What does collecting and paying bank means? So suppose there is a customer, we can call him Mr. P. We'll give him some name. So, okay, he is Mr. P. Mr. P is having account in Bank of India. His account, saving account, is in Bank of India. So Bank of India, he has received one check. Check is of Canara Bank. As you can see, it is written Canara Bank. So the check is of Canara Bank. But since his account is in Bank of India, he will deposit that check with a deposit slip in his bank account in Bank of India. Bank of India will become the collecting bank. In this case, Bank of India will be known as collecting bank. Bank of India will send this check to clearing house. It will send it to clearing house. Clearing house will send it to Canara Bank, and Canara Bank will be the paying bank. So in the previous unit, we have already seen what are the responsibilities of paying bank. Today we are going to see what are the responsibilities of collecting bank. So here paying bank will be Canara Bank. Canara Bank will check all the details which are written on the check. As per the tenor of the apparent tenor of the check, it will make the payment to the clearing house. Clearing house will make the payment to Bank of India, and Bank of India will credit Mr. P's account with the amount written on the check. So this is the process which is followed for clearing of the check. Bank of India will become collecting bank and Canara Bank will be known as the paying bank. Now, what are the responsibilities of a collecting bank? What are the things that a collecting bank has to keep in mind when they are collecting checks for payment? So let's see. First of all, the protection under section 131 is subject to collecting collecting bank will get protection under section 131, and there are some conditions to it. Section 131 will have some conditions, and those conditions has to be met by the collecting bank. So what are those conditions? Condition is that collecting bank should act in good faith, that their intention should be very clear. They want the customer that uh, their customer also receive the money but it should not be, the check should not be forged, the signature should not be forged, it should not be stolen from somewhere. So collecting bank will act in good faith. Second is it acts without negligence. There should be no negligence. They have to check the check also. They also have to check the deposit slip, and only when they are satisfied that the everything is in order, they will send it to the clearing house. It receives payment for a customer. So in this case, Mr. P, Bank of India is going to receive payment for, here Bank of India, in the example we had taken, Bank of India was collecting bank, so Bank of India will be taking payment for Mr. P. The banker has to check whether the check is crossed generally or specially to the collecting bank. So any crossing on the check has to be checked clearly, that is there any crossing on the check. If it is account pay, if it is for special, um, if it is specially crossed, it means it would be written the name of the bank. We will see in subsequent slide. It verifies prima facie genuineness of the check for collecting payment under CTS clearing. So it should not be any forged check, as I told you. It should not be any check stolen. There should be no doubt that the person, Mr. P, should not get the payment of this check. So verifying all these details will be important for the collecting bank, that they have to keep this in mind, that whatever check they are collecting on behalf of their customer, they should also look into that prima facie everything looks good. It should belong to the customer of their bank. That is why the bank will go to the clearing house for payment of that particular check. So the onus lies on the collecting bank uh, before going through the process of CTS and submitting or depositing that check to clearing house for payment of the check from payment bank. Collecting bank will also look for if there is any case of fraud, forgery, tampering that can be verified with due diligence and ordinary care, because sometimes what happens is that suppose there is some tampering on the check, then the collecting bank should not go to the clearing house for clearance of that check. They should stop that check there and there only. If suppose there is a doubt that why, if in a particular account, say there is a account of Mr. A and there are frequent checks are coming into his account, then also as a banker, it is the duty of the banker that you have to ask why they are getting so many checks. Are they doing any business? Is the business genuine? You have to take the reference from local people. You have to go and know whether whatever has been told by you by Mr. A, or whether he is doing any kind of fraud. So that can be verified only if you go and ask other customers or their employer, or uh, if you can check whether they actually have any business or not. So these are the responsibility which will fall into the collecting bank's responsibility. Now, what are the duties of collecting bank? One of the duty is to open account with reference and sufficient documentary proof. As prescribed by RBI, we have to take photograph of the customer. We have to take documentary proof for identity, constitution. Constitution will be in the case of firms. In different kind of firms, we have seen that we take different kind of documents. In some of the cases, you have to take the registration documents as well. In case of proprietorship, although you do not need registration, in case of partnership firms, you do not need registration, but in partnership firm, you have to see that whether there is partnership deed or not. You have to read the partnership deed as well as partnership letter. In case of proprietorship also, you have to check whether they have any VAT or GST registration or not. So while opening the account, it becomes the duty of the collecting bank that they have to ensure that constitution of the firm is as per the norms. If you are opening account of companies, then you have to check and read the documents of memorandum of association and MOA and article of association, and with that you'll be able to know that whether the constitution is appropriate or not. The identity has to be verified with the original. All the KYC documents have to be verified with originals. Usually in most of the banks, you have to sign it on the documents as well, that all these documents has been verified with original, and officer will sign that document. And address should as per the KYC norms. So first duty will lie when you are opening any account, because if you are opening any account which is in fictitious name or Benami account is opened, then definitely the onus will lie on the collecting bank if they are collecting any kind of check. Second is that you have to confirm the reference. Where referee is not known or has given reference in absentia, if reference, whoever is giving reference, either he should be present himself, and you have to confirm either any of the bank staff knows the person who is giving the reference, or you have to make sufficient inquiry about the customer. Suppose there are some forged checks or stolen checks coming into the account of any customer, and there are frequent credit in those accounts through check, then also you have to get that verified whether it is coming from any firm, whether that is coming from any person, and the person whose account you have opened, whether they have genuine business or not. Any kind of genuine income is always welcome, but if there is any doubt, it becomes the responsibility of the collecting bank. So you have to check the references also. You have to do the background check of the customers. Next comes the KYC norms, that all the collecting banks will have this duty of checking the KYC norms, which is prescribed as per the Money of Laundering Act, PMLA, PMLA, PMA, PMLA Act, or PMLR, and KYC directions as given by the RBI. So we take different documents for different kind of institution. If it is for individual account, we have to take some documents. If it is trust account, proprietorship, partnership firm, LLP, companies, then we have societies, clubs, association of persons. So we take different kind of documents, and we also take a resolution when we are opening account for non-individuals, except for proprietorship firm. So we have to go through these documents also. It is not just that you have to just keep the document. You will ask the customer to give these documents, and you'll keep those documents without reading it. Because if you are taking the document and you're not reading it, then also banker will be held responsible for negligence. It will come under negligence of the banker, that they have not studied the documents which were submitted by the customer when they were opening accounts. So KYC norms applies not only for taking documents, it also means that you have to verify the documents, you have to go through the documents, what is written inside that, and what is the resolution, who will be the authorized person. You have to take KYC of authorized person also, who will be operating the account on behalf of the firm. So these are the things that you have to keep in mind as a collecting bank. Now you also have to check different kind of crossings and special crossings. So these are examples of crossings. These are called general crossings, account pay not negotiable, and specimen of special crossing is when crossing is done for a specific bank. Like here it is written State Bank of India. State Bank of India account pay, State Bank of India not negotiable. It means that the check will be paid only to SBI. It cannot be made to any other bank. And as per the crossing which is given, crossing giving, if it is account pay, it should be credited in the account only. If it is not negotiable, you have to see that it doesn't get negotiated. So this is again one of the duty of collecting bank, that while before taking the check for CTS, before scanning the checks for CTS, you have to just go through the checks and the deposit slips. In deposit slips also, we have to see that whether what is written in check is also written in the account of the depositor. Like if check is for Mr. Ramesh, account should also be in the name of Mr. Ramesh. So that you have to go through before processing the CTS. Fifth is duty to verify the instrument for any apparent defect in, in the instrument. You have to check whether any tampering is done or not. You have to just look at the face of the check that there is no mistake. There is nothing that you will be doubting about. There is no overwriting. There is no cutting on the check. The amount written in words and figure is clear. It can be scanned clearly, because in CTS especially, when you scan the check, it should be very clear, because the paying bank will be making the payment based on the scan of the check. So you have to just go through the checks and deposit slip before you proceed for CTS. Now there are other duties as well, but before that we'll do some questions. So this is a case study. This is a small case. In a case, a thief stole a check in transit and collected the same through a bank where he had opened an account without reference. So there was no reference, posing himself as the payee whose signature the thief forged. So thief also forged the signature. After collection of the check, he withdrew the amount. Where did the collecting bank go wrong? Bank acted negligently in opening the account without obtaining any reference. The collecting bank did not act in good faith. The bank did not verify the crossing in check whether generally or specially. The banker did not verify the KYC documents. So what will be the answer for this question? In a case, a thief stole a check in transit and collected the same through a bank where he had opened an account without reference, posing himself as the payee whose signature the thief forged. After collection of the check, he withdrew the amount. Where did the collecting bank go wrong? So where was the mistake of the collecting bank? Bank acted negligently in opening the account without obtaining any reference. The collecting bank did not act in good faith. The bank did not verify crossing in the check whether generally or specially. The banker did not verify the KYC documents. Right answer is bank acted negligently and in opening the account without obtaining any reference, as we have already seen that the account was opened without any reference. So this was a clue which was given in the case itself. Collecting bank gets protection under which of the following acts? Section 10, Section 31, Section 85, Section 131. So in which of these acts the collecting bank will get protection? Section 10, Section 31, Section 85 or Section 131? Right answer is Section 131. In all these sections are related to the paying bank. So next is collecting bank gets protection under section 131. Which of the following is not a condition for protection under this section? We have seen there are some conditions which the collecting bank has to meet, and in which of the following is not one of the condition? The collecting bank acts in good faith. It acts without negligence. It receives payment for a customer. It checks whether the account has sufficient balance or not. Collecting bank gets protection under section 131. Which of the following is not a condition for protection under this section? The collecting banker acts in good faith. It acts without negligence. It receives payment for a customer. It checks whether the account has sufficient balance or not. Right answer is it checks whether the account has sufficient balance or not. This is the duty of the paying bank. An account was opened for a new customer after necessary formalities. The account was not opened by deposit of cash as was the usual practice, but was opened by deposit of a third party check. The bank inquired with the customer who produced a forged letter from his employer authorizing him to deal with the check. The check was stolen by the customer and credited to his account. Which of the following was not done by the bank? Proper KYC was not taken, proper verification on tempering of check was not conducted, necessary inquiry from the employer was not done, state of customer's account was not verified. An account was opened for a new customer after necessary formalities. The account was not opened by deposit of cash as was the usual practice, but was opened by deposit of a third party check. The bank inquired with the customer who produced a forged letter from his employer authorizing him to deal with the check. The check was stolen by the customer and credited to his account. Which of the following was not done by the bank? Proper KYC was not taken, proper verification on tempering of check was not conducted, Necessary inquiry from the employer was not done. State of customer's account was not verified. As we can see that uh, necessary formalities were done. So we we can say KYC was taken. Verification on tempering of check, it is not written that there was tempering of check because it was a stolen check. Necessary inquiry should have been done by the bank from the employer. So right answer is C. So necessary inquiry from employer was not done by the bank. They should have get it inquired that whether the payment, because usually the bank was taking cash for opening account. In this case they took a third party check which was which was which was a uh, stolen check, and that is why the bank should have asked the employer before allowing the customer to open the account with check. So with that, we are done with this unit. Although this unit is not complete, we need more time to discuss because there are many case studies which are given in this particular unit. We have already launched our batches, and for enrolling to our batches you can go to Adda 24/7 site. If you have not downloaded the app, then download the app from Google Play or Apple Store, because in uh, your app you get more discounts. You also get a lot of information there. After that you have to go to all courses, JIB CIB. You can go to JIB 2025, and here you can see that we have launched different subjects. Subject-wise subscription can be taken. Suppose if you have not cleared all your papers and only one or two paper is left, you can take the subscription of that particular subject. You can also take, if all your subjects are pending, then you can take the Mahapack. You are also getting double validity, as well as in Mahapack you get the benefit of other batches as well. So here you have to use the code Y984 to take that maximum discount. After typing Y984, you have to apply, and you can see that you are getting 80% discount. So you can enroll for the course and start your preparation. It will help you, it will give you sufficient time to revise and practice just before the exams. Once you complete the concept part, so it is advisable that you start your preparation now. And with that, thank you for watching this video. Do subscribe this channel because you will get a lot of information regarding your JIB CIB and bank promotion exam. So thanks a lot.